Hello students, now we are going to learn about the law of constant proportion and law of definite proportions. This law is given by scientist Joseph Proust. But before starting to go for the statement of the law, I want to take one example of tea. Now if we want to prepare 2 cups of tea, we need 1 cup of water, 1 cup of milk. Now if the quantity of the cups of tea increase, so instead of 2, now 20 cups of tea we have to prepare, then we need same amount of water and milk. Is it enough to use 1 cup of water and 1 cup of milk? Definitely not. We also have to increase the quantity of milk and water. So, if we want to prepare 20 cups of tea, we need 10 cups of water. If we want to prepare 40 cups of tea, again, the quantity of water we have to increase, that is 20 cups of water. 20 cups of water, 20 cups of milk will produce 40 cups of tea. 10 cups of water, 10 cups of milk will produce 20 cups of tea. Right? So, here, as the number of cup of tea increase, then automatically we have to increase the proportion of the ingredients, isn't it? So when we check for the proportion of water, then it is 1 to 10 to 20. And when we check the proportion for tea, 2 to 20 to 40. So if it is reduced, it will be 1 to 10 to 20. So whenever tea is prepared, the ingredients will remain same. But as the number of cups of tea increase, we also have to increase the quantity of the ingredient, right? So the proportion of the ingredient will be also increasing, right? So this way, whenever any compound is formed, it will be always formed by the combination of the atoms of 2 or more than 2 different elements or same elements. But they always will combine in a definite proportion by mass, right? So here we are going to take one more example of water molecule. You all know that water molecule is formed by hydrogen and oxygen gas combination. So here hydrogen gas combined with oxygen gas to produce water molecule. You all know that in water molecule there is one oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. So here I have drawn, these are the atoms of hydrogen gas, these are the atoms of oxygen gas. So 2 hydrogen atoms combine with this one oxygen atom to produce one water molecule. These 2 hydrogen atoms combine with this oxygen atom and producing one more water molecule. In this way, here 6 oxygen atoms are there. These 6 oxygen atoms each combine with 2 hydrogen atoms to produce 6 water molecule. Now when water molecule is formed, this water molecule, if undergoing decomposition process, then it will give you hydrogen and oxygen gas again. So if we are carrying decomposition of water by passing electric current, then we will get hydrogen and oxygen gas again. Now here, if I am taking 18 gram of water, then it will produce 2 gram of hydrogen gas and 16 gram of oxygen gas. So here, if I want to take ratio of hydrogen gas to oxygen gas, then it is 2:60. So if it is reduced to lower term, then it is 1:8 by mass, right? Because 2 1 is 2 and 2 8s are 16. So it is 1:8 by mass. So whenever you are taking water samples, whether it is from well, whether it is from river, whether it is from pond, and same way you are doing the decomposition process for water, whichever collected from whatever sources, all these samples of water, if electrically decompose, then they all will produce hydrogen and oxygen gas. And this hydrogen and oxygen gas will have the same proportion by mass, that is 1:8. right? So from which sources you have collected the water sample, it doesn't matter, right? So whatever the sample of water you have got, if it is undergoing decomposition process, it will always show ratio of hydrogen to oxygen is 1:8 by mass, irrespective of its sources. Or if you are collecting water from UK, India or US, and again taking these three water samples which are collected from these three different countries and making the decomposition of the water, again you will get hydrogen and oxygen gas with that same proportion, 1:8 by mass. It never happens that US is developed country and so the water having proportion of hydrogen oxygen is different, right? So irrespective of the sources, you are getting the proportion of hydrogen and oxygen for water is 1:8 by mass. So now we will come to the statement of the law of constant proportion as a pure compound is always made up of the same elements combined together in a fixed proportion by mass. So here we are getting a water compound which is formed by hydrogen and oxygen gas. So the elements hydrogen and oxygen combine to produce water and the proportion is fixed, that is 1:8 by mass. Irrespective of the sources of the water sample, you will always get the proportion is 1:8 by mass. Now I am going to take another example of the carbon dioxide gas. Now carbon dioxide gas also can be produced by various processes, like burning of coal will produce carbon dioxide because carbon from the coal combine with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. Or action of dilute hydrochloric acid on marble pieces. Marble contains calcium carbonate. When it reacts with hydrochloric acid, it always gives carbon dioxide is one of the product in the reaction. Or action of acid on metal bicarbonates also will produce carbon dioxide. Or heating calcium carbonate at a very high temperature, it will also produce carbon dioxide. Now these are the various processes by which we can get the carbon dioxide. Now if this carbon dioxide is decomposed, then we will get one carbon atom and two oxygen atom, because the carbon dioxide molecule is formed by a combination of one carbon atom with two oxygen atoms. So when the decomposition of the carbon dioxide is carried out, then we will get one carbon atom and two oxygen atoms. Now we will check that what is the proportion by mass they are combining. Now here carbon dioxide, when decomposed, it will produce carbon atom, oxygen gas. So the formula is CO2. So when it is decomposed, we will get one carbon atom and two atoms of oxygen. Now if I am taking 44 gram of carbon dioxide, then it will produce 12 gram of carbon and 32 gram of oxygen, right? In this way, 44 gram of carbon dioxide on decomposition will produce 12 gram of carbon and 32 gram of oxygen. Now I want to check the ratio. Carbon is to oxygen will be is equal to 12 is to 32. If it is reduced to lower term, then 4 3s are 12 and 4 8s are 32. So always you will get the ratio of carbon to oxygen after decomposition of CO2, it is 3:8 by mass. So here also carbon and oxygen, these two elements combine together in a fixed proportion of 3:8 by mass to produce carbon dioxide. Irrespective of the chemical process, whichever chemical process you have carried out to prepare carbon dioxide. Irrespective of that, every carbon dioxide molecule obtained in any of the process which I have described earlier, you will always found after decomposition there will be the same ratio, that is 3:8 by mass for the carbon and oxygen. Is that clear? So I suppose you understood the law of constant proportion. If you like my videos, please subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching and bye for now.